Faithless, distractible, no regard for a bargain struck. If I could just kill these two and take the ore myself, I would have by now. They've dealt with my lady, and yet here we still dither. Can't imagine who would care about the politics of this tiny town when the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Still, I have to trust that we will make it to Gilbrain sooner rather than later. Our time is short, and yet somehow I cannot convince them of this. It is maddening. Well, I suppose it's time for Dungeon Dads.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we don't have that queued up?
I know,
I was really
yeah.
counting on that
man.
to get me in there.
It can do samples, but I didn't program it.
That's okay. That would have been too much.
Too much.
Too much, Tim. Sound man.
That's right.
Wait, John, just give us a rendition.
Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see them on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care. Just along for the rabbit, everyone must sin. Ha! I'm gonna make sure I'm on the winning side.
Woo! That's the best idea I've had in a while. I am hyped.
Good. Oh.
That's how you know it's a live episode, baby.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the live podcast of the Dungeon Dads. Every war must end. As always, I am your GM, DM, Tom Blaylock.
As always.
As always. And I'm joined today in person in lovely Richardson, Texas, overlooking the campus of UT Dallas, which is a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. Very nice. Is John Watson on the pipes and playing Ionis Silhavine, the wizard. What's up, John?
Woo-wee! You have no idea how good you guys look in person. I keep saying it, but you're just all delicious.
We just haven't stopped laughing. It's so awesome. Sam Frank, who is playing the bastard, Schnobik.
Why you gotta call him a bastard? Oh, wait, no, I know.
It's Schnobik the
It's
bastard.
because I'm actually the only one here who does know how good I look.
What's up, Sam?
I just can't stop smiling. Real happy to be here with all you guys.
So good, so good. And Tim Carr playing what I think is going to be the hero of the next few episodes, Filnir Omajira, the warlock who has a penchant for Ascended Ore.
A penchant for Ascended? Okay. Okay.
Makes it sound like he wants to make out with it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it does a little bit.
we're gonna find out if that's something he wants to do or not.
Yeah, we haven't really delved into Filnir's preferences, have we?
And no, we haven't. And there's only one way to make more Ascended Ore, and it does take a half elf and a piece of Ascended Ore.
Wow. I'm not sure that's canon, Tom.
It's in the main pod, Tim.
Weirdly, it also
definitely is.
requires a cannon.
Oh, yes.
Kilgore Trout to the rescue. How you guys doing? Are you ready for this?
As ready as we're going to be, man.
I mean, I've been really thinking about this a lot, and I'm so happy that you said. Now, I mean, I shouldn't even project this, because you told me last episode you're probably going to the Owlwood next. So I did spend virtually all my prep time on the Owlwood.
To the Gilbert!
You motherfuckers, if you do that.
You know what? Schnobik's finally getting through to me. I really think he's...
So last episode, if you all need to jog your memory, you recruited 450 new Harold's Rot spearmen.
And they actually showed up.
And they showed up, so you got them. You have a master of coin now in Yvonne who is going to keep track of things for you, so you guys don't have to. And you also recruited Waverly Cloudsack, who essentially retired from the sort of wizarding ways, and he seems like he's suffering some PTSD or something from not from being disrobed by Ionis, but from some other interaction. And he hinted that it was largely Griggly, and he is pretty messed up. And his dowry, which he gave you in exchange for allowing him to set up roots in Lakenhearth, were these weird bags of like nail clippings and hair from each of you, and also Abel, his spell book, and then this thing he said about Griggly, and the hair of Griggly being the only real hair in the Gilbrain, and it really freaked him out. And he also gave you the last little parting gift, which was, he said, Willem the Wet is real. And
it all made total sense.
it didn't
and we got it.
It didn't make total sense to you, but like
No, we talked about it without you.
Oh,
and
okay.
we figured it all out.
Okay.
We've got it.
Okay, cool. That's fine. That's great. John,
When did that happen?
Yeah.
Tim's eyes are going everywhere.
Was this while I was jogging? Okay.
When did you do this without me? Yeah, what?
So I think that we are ready to go. You have not had a rest yet. I know you're down some spells. It is up to you if you want to take a rest before you head out. I don't think it's going to significantly affect my prep time. I don't think you necessarily need it, but you could do it if you want to. So,
I just realized there's a hole in my record keeping here, which is I have not distinguished between things that I can do once a day and things that I can do once per long rest.
That's an important distinguishment.
Yes.
Very important.
But I think that I'm only down the darkness that I cast on Florin's belt buckle.
right.
But I think I can only do that once a day anyway. I don't think a long rest helps me on that one.
For your feet
Yeah.
delivered things, your feet delivered things are per long rest. Your drow abilities, if anyone remembers from the bonus episode, so Sam is a human, like turned vampire, and we basically reskinned a drow to make that make sense for him. And so he has like the darkness spell, which he can cast as a racial ability. That is once per day. So that is not once per long rest. The assumption is, and I think we'll see this very soon, is you will probably only be getting one long rest per day, if that, going forward, especially when you're on the road. And so those will probably be the same for you going forward. And I don't think an Eldritch Knight gets anything back except his action surge at a short rest. Is that correct? I think Eldritch Knight doesn't get any spells back on a short rest, like nothing like that. It's very much like an arcane trickster.
Yeah. But also second wind, all the fighter stuff.
It's all like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fighter, not a wizard.
The fighter stuff is what you get back. Yeah. Okay. And Timoph is about to become he's the short rest master.
Oh yeah,
And-
I'm good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, according to my character sheet, like, when did we last have a long rest? Was
well, to be fair,
before the breakfast.
It was before the breakfast.
Yeah,
you are down 1 5th level spell slot because of Hex.
it's
you
been
were
at
running-
least an hour since I put Hex on Waverly's wife, because he's had 2 goes at her.
But we
if I
haven't-
remember
Oh,
right.
right.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
That's true.
To be fair, Waverly is a giver, and the projected image that he sent out, he didn't feel anything from that. Like that was only.
That's neither here nor
for-
there. I don't need those details.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, but-
like I have a lot of details if you want them.
So you're saying that we did get
Did
a
you
short rest then?
Did you like role play and roll the dice on all of the bedroom interactions off air just in case we needed it?
There are definitely some disappointments that occurred.
Failures are telling, my man.
Yeah, that's right. So you can have a short rest. Sure, if you need a short rest, you can have a short rest.
Well, it just there are spell slots that will come back to me.
But you know what? It's just you just had breakfast. You can't have another long rest. I changed my mind.
I'm not going to do the.
You can't have another long.
Well, we don't need the long, but the short. I'll take it.
All right.
And what I'd like to do as well is I'd like to.
Wait. It has to be longer than that if Despo's already back with the people.
It was 6 hours for Gare to get back. I mean, you've had time, so you're right. So it's actually about dinner time now. It's been a full day.
I will say that I probably wasn't spending that time resting.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we
Maybe
were,
an hour
We
of
were
it.
talking. Yeah, we were talking to people. We were
Making
organizing things. We were
preparations.
making prep. Exactly.
If you wanted to, you could take advantage of Waverly's.
That's what I
book.
was about to say.
During
I would
that time.
I would like to spend get Waverly's help and spend an hour and 50 gold getting the identify spell.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really smart.
Yeah.
So you can copy it into your spell book, and that's a ritual, so you can use it pretty much any time.
That is a good idea.
That's actually a terrific idea.
You gave me that book. I was like, all the things. I spent my whole spring break time in the mountains planning forward how to get spells.
For all
which spells do I use from the book and which spells do I pick up? Awesome.
All right. Any other housekeeping?
I don't think so. There's nothing.
Oh, I have a question for Schnobek. Do you still have Frostbrand with you?
No.
Do you still have Bezaleth with you? Okay. That is important information for you to have. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I do not suggest you having Frostbrand with you when you're in the Gilbrain. Just so you.
Oh,
so,
yeah. No.
That is my
I already put that 2 and 2 together.
recommendation. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. It's becoming night. There's a lot of activity in Lake and Hearth now. The soldiers, it's weird because so many of these soldiers, actually, you were right, are either Lake and Hearthers, Breenies, or just other valley settlements and hamlets, right?
Yep.
And so they know the area. Some of them are, getting permission from Despo to like sleep at home. And not in the encampment, and she's like, it's okay, but just for a couple of nights, like then we have to be in the encampment. We're still an army, like we're not going home. And so there's like more people here. The merchants are gangbusters, making money hand over fist. Bobby's happy.
That's what we didn't do. We didn't
shop.
go shopping.
Bobby's happy.
Hot pot.
Yeah, I mean, like if you have a couple of things you want to buy, like we can hand wave it, and I can just say, you got screwed a little bit. You had to pay a little extra money. No big deal. Bobby's merchants are shrewd. But if you have like something weird that you need, some magical items, things like that, I'm willing to roll for them.
I don't know. Is +3 rapier weird?
You're not getting a +3 rapier.
Ever smoking bottle.
What does this shit do? What is that?
I thought you said you'd hand wave it.
Tom, I also want to get a can of worms.
Are you asking me where you can find that?
No.
Because
No, I just want a closed one. Closed one.
ever smoking. Tell me what. Can you just tell me like what it does?
It's basically the fog cloud spell in my pocket.
Oh, and it still takes an action to do.
I've got to like open it.
You got to open it. Yeah, fine. That's fine.
Sweet.
That's fine.
That seems like a good one for a rogue.
But it's only a once.
Thief anyway.
Oh, it's ever smoking.
Ever.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I'm going to limit this. It's not going to be at will.
Okay.
It will be a charged item.
How many charges?
It will be you get a D4 back every morning. How's that? Is that fine? That seems like super nice.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. How much does it cost?
Yeah. How much does it cost? Yeah. Let's see.
I think it's just an uncommon item.
I got it. Let me just let me roll for it. Whatever I roll here, it's going to be times 10. Okay. Oh, come on. It's just don't even worry about it. It could be very little. 5d20 and times
2 natural 20s.
10.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, it's 680 gold.
680
See,
gold.
it's not bad. It's not bad. 680 gold.
All right. I'll take that.
Yeah. Okay.
20, 20, 17.
That 3 and the 8. Yeah, that's right.
They don't have any enchanted armor down there, do they?
You're looking for like half plate or something like that.
Yeah, I have half
right?
plate already. So I think that's the best medium armor that I can wear unless I get a +1. Or if there's a special shield.
What about like a box of pigments?
No, that's too cool. You're gonna have to roll for that one.
Nobody will understand that but us.
Sorry, that's a reference to
for a month
Mountain
and a
City
half.
Mayhem,
Right.
premium
That's right, for a
campaign,
couple,
That's
like,
right.
which we actually recorded last night. For all of you who haven't subscribed to the Patreon, do it, and you can get all these jokes.
half. They have a half plate that is that's human size, so it'll fit you.
Yep.
And it is not a plus half plate, but it has resistance to one type of energy that you can choose, but you have to choose now.
And how much does it cost?
That will be, sir, times 10. And this is going to be...
Let's see if this is worth it.
All right. 2,100 gold. 2,130 gold.
You rolled 5d100s?
I rolled 5d100s times 10. It's magical armor, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
And you actually got a lower than average roll.
Yeah.
For 5d100s.
Yeah.
So, Tim, that is out of the Purse of Plethyrus, correct?
I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to buy this yet. I'm still thinking about it. That seems like a lot. I don't. That said, I don't know what the market for a normal like +1 armor is in general. I mean, the resistance is good. It's just a matter of it matching up.
I can tell you that, like, if you think back to the enemies that you've faced from various places, if you're going back into the Gilbrain Wilds, there's a lot of electric, like lightning damage. What is that? Is that a lightning damage or thunder damage? What's the
lightning would be electric. I mean,
yeah,
in proper physics,
yeah.
But in D&D elements,
it's D&D elements. Is it thunder damage? Is that what the?
No, there's both, right?
No, it's lightning damage.
Lightning damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They have both.
I
They're
think
different.
the question you really have to ask yourself is if you pick armor that has a resistance to a particular energy type, is Tom more likely or less likely to throw that energy type at you?
I will tell you there. I know for a fact that you have plenty of electric lightning like enemies that are. I don't know how soon. It depends on you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that armor is just made out of rubber and does nothing for your AC.
Yeah, there's just a rubber insulating layer in the half plate.
You're the Michelin Man all of a sudden.
Right?
It's just a kite with a key on it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think about whether that's worth it.
It's tied to the back of the armor.
I don't remember what I paid for that half
Oh
plate
no, my kite!
in general.
Sorry, we got to fuck around while Tim's thinking about shopping.
Listen, we can always. I guess, is there a shield option? Do they have any sort of special shields?
Yes, they in fact do have a special shield, and it is they have a +1 shield.
And how much is that one? Go ahead, Sam.
I was like, wait a second, they do?
Yeah, they have a +1
Hold on a
shield.
second. I was just trying. What happened to all of Abel's equipment?
Dust.
All of
No,
it?
his equipment is still there.
Oh yeah, his equipment's still
It's just
there.
his body that's dust.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it was what's his name?
He had a shield.
Walter
Faust,
Faust's
yeah.
armor.
So
A Walter Faust armor,
Which was
Ascended
magical.
Shield of Tempest.
The problem with the Ascended Shield of Tempest is it
It's
was
just
just
specifically for Abel.
Just for Abel. He had a vicious spear.
Did he have a vicious spear?
He did.
He had another one.
He'd had another one. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of what else.
I think that was.
That was the big ones. That was the big ones.
Character
Yeah.
sheet.
I mean, he also had Bonris's beads.
Right.
So I guess you have those again, John.
Yeah, I got to give that to somebody.
Yeah, they're lucky.
Yeah. All right, Tim. Here we go. Times 10.
Everyone who carries them meets a happy end.
God, no.
So the shield +1 is 3,000 gold.
The armor seems like a better deal.
Indeed.
But that +1 bonus also is
It's
nice.
AC. It's pretty nice.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Especially, well, I mean, although Schnobik does a lot more of the tanking
Yeah,
than
that's
you do.
true.
Schnobik doesn't have any money and is too proud to ask for any.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Ionis will keep an eye on Schnopik and see if he's looking at something.
Yeah, but if
Schnobik's just gonna
Ionis
skulk
buys
around.
it for him, he will not take it. John shakes his head.
He is a dick.
Spoiled.
He is a real dick. It's true.
I guess the other question I have is: would Filnir know that lightning is a likely damage source, or is this like a meta thing that we're discussing?
Well,
I would like to do this with the character knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that. I think the armorer that you fought, Azim Gareld, like that was her Azir Garal.
You don't even know her name.
It's because you guys did all that shit to me.
It's all
totally
Sam.
fine.
It's all Sam.
Yeah, her name was Travis.
I realized.
Yeah, I mean, she was shooting out. She shot some lightning bolts at you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if you're making this decision in character, it's a lot more about what energy type has done the most damage to you in your life.
Yeah,
Right.
it could be fire.
Which, I mean, honestly, it's probably like piercing.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, I guess you. You know what? I would. You could have resistance in any one type, so it could be piercing, bludgeoning.
That's dope.
Yeah, it could be any one type.
That's even better.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope.
Oh,
Yeah.
Any
man.
one type.
Well
Yeah.
worth the money.
I
then.
think then I would buy the half plate with the,
I would go piercing because
like arrows.
arrows,
Yep.
and then stabbing weapons.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Slashing and bludgeoning. You know, if someone's hitting you with that, they're in melee range, and you're gonna fuck them up anyway.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think I will do that.
Tom has a look like maybe he shouldn't have suggested that.
I'm just thinking about my next two encounters and how simple they might be.
For someone who takes half damage from ranged arrow attacks as we go into the Owlwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. People hanging out in trees, shooting arrows at you.
Yeah.
It's really weird. These are called hammerhead arrows. They bludgeon you to death. Yeah, it's weird. They fly overhead and then they drop things on top
They
of your head.
actually aim to graze you so that it is slashing damage. They it's death by 1,000 cuts.
All right. So I will talk to Ionis and get some cash for that from the Purse of Plethoras.
All right, fantastic. We said it was 2130.
2130.
It does not require attunement.
Good.
And you have there's a +1 shield here that is, also for sale.
Is it the same vendor? I assume it is. Same merchant.
I mean, these guys are all like they kind of circle around. They clearly all work for Bobby.
Is there a bargain?
Like they're not.
Ionis, I do not know how much resources we have, but perhaps there's a bargain to be made on both of these.
Yes. If we buy this as a pair,
Could you perhaps wrap them together like in a bundle?
Yeah, I mean, these are my favorite items that I've ever sold in
of
my
course they
entire
are.
life.
They are quite fine.
And he looks at Ionis. He says,
You're that noble there, aren't you?
yes.
Yeah, you're the one who's got all the money, right? And you want me to cut you a deal. Is that I'm hearing that
Well,
right?
you're saying I'm the one that has all the money. The money belongs to the town,
Interesting.
and I am.
Well, that lady over there just came over here looking for a few extra fletched arrows, and she didn't say, "Oh, he has the town's money for me to buy these things." She just pulled it out of her own purse, and it seems like that's what you're doing. Okay,
Have you not
want a
heard
deal?
of Wham?
I don't know what that is
A little walking around money for the
for me.
town buyer.
Oh, I see. Okay. Listen. So you want this?
Speaking of Wham,
And does this
I'm going
scratch-
to rest. Wake me up before you go.
Does this scratch on the shield affect its viability?
Absolutely not. Okay.
Can you buff it out?
Sure, it'll take 3 days. Is that okay?
Well, perhaps we
Fuck.
we can buff it out ourselves for a small discount.
I tell you what. Here's what I'm thinking about. You are nice fellows, and I assume you're going to come back and buy more when you get back from the Deathly Hollows. I'll give you them both for 5,000 gold.
I thought for sure he was going to say, "You look like nice fellows. I'm sure you're going to come back and spend more money. When you do that, buy this shield."
So this was going to be 2130 plus
3,010. It's a small discount.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, Filner, do you really need?
Listen, it's a choice between this or paying your army for a week.
Right. Ionis, it is an extravagance, it seems.
How about this? You got a Babo over there who will finance anything from my shops. You give me 4,000 gold now, and you give me 2,500 gold when you come back. How's that sound?
That is quite a bit more.
Finley, I'm
Well-
walking away from this.
Well,
That is fine. That is.
well, okay, all right.
And think in the future about the tales that I will be telling all the places that I visit when I tell them about your shop. Good sir.
Well, they know me well in Adair City and in the Breen Town, and I will also send word about you to my fellow merchants. Good day, sir.
I guess we never talked about how much the half plate that I have. I guess I'll just keep it.
Oh yeah, could you trade it?
Yeah. I mean, it costs like, I think the PHP is like 750 gold for regular half plate. So like, it's not nothing in
we'll
terms of
take it.
like, no, I know, but we can
Both
hold on to it.
Schnobik and Sam are ready to murder you two guys.
We'll just leave it. We'll keep it. I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm not gonna trade it into this guy.
What if we get a loan with the half plate as collateral?
But what's the APR?
and
Is
we
it
can get a
compound or
low
simple?
interest rate on that.
Holy fucking shit. And the green dragon flies overhead.
So Filnir will take his old half plate and stick it in the in Florin's
In the windmill.
windmill. Yeah, before we leave.
Okay.
Ready to go.
And Florin shows up with a comically long fishing pole with a small sack tied to the end of it that he's holding over his shoulder. He says, "All right, guys, I got my clothes in here, and I got my book in here, and I'm ready to go."
Flawn, are you sure you're up for this?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can stay here and help defend the town, or I can go with you and keep you guys alive. Your choice.
I mean, Flawn, I had to come and save you from the Kishi.
So you want to keep me close?
I'm not sure I understood your meaning either, Ionis. Do you mean to keep him in the town?
He's a great companion, but he's a boy.
The soldiers here will need guidance, assuming they will listen to the boy.
Gentlemen, it's Waverly. I suggest you leave the young wizard here with me, and I will continue his training in your stead.
Flawn, you're coming with us.
Waverly, you are here for like another hour.
No, I am here for good, my friend.
That's not what you told us yesterday.
This is Waverly. He came in, showed up, and gave me his book, and this is him. He's here.
I am.
Oh, this
here.
is not his...
I am no
projection.
projected image. Touch me again.
Oh, I'm sorry. My concentration was on your wife.
He does give you a real strong eat shit and die look at this.
At your request.
Yes, okay. Gentlemen, leave Florin here with me. I have already spoken with Despo. She is ready to both begin his martial training, and I will continue his magical studies. He is destined to be a great leader in this valley, and I do believe danger might befall him on the road with you all. And Florin kind of like is a little upset about this, and Waverly says, "You will be the general of this army, young Florin. The monarch cannot be both monarch and general." Well, I guess that's something.
Schnobik sort of chuckles to himself in the corner. Awfully involved for someone who, a matter of hours ago, was announcing his retirement.
Yes, it's true. Vampire, my goal is to stay alive. That is my number one concern at this point.
I have no doubt of that.
I think we could use a local boy to be in charge of this local town.
I would agree. Flawn, please. For us.
All right. Well, and Florin reaches into his sack, the sack that's hanging from his fishing pole, and he says, I think you might need this. And he pulls out a ring, and he looks at Ionis, and he looks at Schnobek, and he looks over at Filnir. He says, "It should have been with Abel." And he gives it to Filnir, and he says, "It'll protect you somewhat." Yeah.
How does it do that?
Magic. What do you think?
Yeah. It keeps you from going down one time, and then it breaks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Stay safe.
We will do our best. Hopefully I can return this to you.
That would be very nice.
One piece.
My father had me wearing it when Crispin. And he trails off. He says, "Yeah. Anyway, stay safe. Come back soon."
What is it for my character sheet?
It's a ring of sacrifice, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
So
It's not an official item then?
when you take damage, which would bring you down to 0,
Okay.
as long as the damage wouldn't kill you, it negates all of that damage, and then the ring breaks.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Don't listen to these men, young Florn. Ride fast. Take chances.
I think I might have a chance to ride fast and take chances right here. I think your brother is correct.
Which one of us is alive and which one of us is dead, Florn?
Well, the Scourge of the Small Folk does seem very strong.
God damn it.
Yeah.
With great power comes great enjoyment.
I think Florn would be into becoming a vampire. I'm not going to lie. I think he would love that.
Oh, Lord.
He's got that teenager, like, vampires are cool
Vampires
thing.
are cool. Yeah, he
I think
does.
Schnobek's definitely playing into that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't smoke a pipe. He smokes these cool little rolled paper things.
Ionis and Filnir and Schnobek, I think I'm ready. Do you guys like it? I've been practicing my Kegaset. Is that better? Do you like it?
That's Kegaset now? Okay.
Can we all hear Kegaset now?
No, but she's now young in the thing. She was old in Felipe. Like he was. Remember, he had the voice of someone who was on the very edge of death.
This is
And-
this is
Oh,
Felipe,
this is Felipe
talking.
doing
as
Kegaset, yes.
Yeah, this is
okay.
Felipe
I thought
doing
it was
his
Tom
Kegaset.
talking as Kegaset.
That's what I thought too. That's why I
Trying
was
out
like,
his new voice.
why are we doing a new voice?
Oh my God, you guys!
It's Tom. It's not. We're not coming after you.
I don't even care. No, I'm not coming after you either. Wink, wink, motherfuckers. Okay.
For the listeners, he did not
He
wink.
did not wink. Yeah. All right.
That's the new wink, wink, motherfuckers.
Wink, wink.
Oh, that's a T-shirt right there.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
How many people are we going to have to decide whether or not to bring with us?
It's just Felipe.
Can
and
we
you
just
three,
go?
Right?
I think we should just stick with the four of
Yes,
us.
it should be small. If we're going to the Owlwood,
Florence says, "Oh,
Do personalities trapped in objects count as individuals coming with us? Because we've got a few of those we could bring as well.
well, Kegaset will be joining me.
Well, then Bezlith may be joining me. You're not the only one with a sword with a lady in it.
Oh. We shall compare notes later.
Yes, maybe we will cross swords.
Boys.
Filnir, I know what those stones do. Could you leave those stones with me?
They would be a good resource for protecting the town, and they have no place in the Owlwood.
I just don't know what would happen if you leave with those stones and these things are still here.
Very well.
All right.
I'll hand him the control stones.
And as you hand him the stones, the two Slotty that are sitting quietly by the door of the windmill, their eyes just go to him, and you can see just that kind of total admiration that they showed for you. And he goes, "Oh man, this is not good, Filnir.
Why is that?
started holding these things, and they started obeying me.
That is how it works.
Be
mindful if they take damage because it will hurt you as well.
Oh God! All right.
You can send them away at your own risk, but I do not know how that works. I do not know if you can break the stones and what would happen in that case.
I'll work on that while you're gone.
It'd be a good research project for you.
Perfect.
Should you need to, I suppose you can always send them into the lake. Lord knows if they can swim.
That's a good idea.
Look at that, Florin. Plenty of danger right here in town for you.
And Florin takes the 2 stones and he puts them up to his face and he says, "Did you know you can see through their eyes? Did you know you can see through their eyes?
Is it in 3 dimensions?
It's weird.
One red, one blue.
It's weird." He closes one eye and says, "It's very disconcerting because I am looking at me, looking at them through these Oh, this is amazing."
What a trick.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sorry, I was just laughing to myself, having a little debate in my head of like, if Schnobik and Filnir had a sword fight, but the swords both had ladies trapped inside them, would that be super gay or like the straightest thing ever?
Sam, only a normie would ask that question.
The truth is, it's just a pansexual free-for-all. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, we got all these crossed swords jokes, but then it's like, oh, but if they both have women in them, kind of takes some of the, oh, no, I don't know. And my brain was just spinning on that for like 2 minutes.
Cool. So did you guys go to the teleportation circle? Did you guys do it? Did you guys do it? Are you there?
All right, so I'm gonna get everybody together, and I'm gonna have the scroll out, and I'm just gonna look at everyone plainly, and I'm gonna say I've been considering this for many days, and I think I've come upon my epiphany. My brother seems to have walked away from a lot of this, but this is the source of my apprehension. Consider 2 kingdoms. You have Adair, and you have Monterre. This is not about the Silhavines. It is instead about the family Demerode. We have 2 women from the Demerode family, one placed in House Silhavind and one placed in House Adair. House Silhavind has now fallen, and Adair seems to be poised in the same direction with an insurrection from this Demerode woman. Just be mindful. There are plots here. We don't know everything.
I never presume to know everything. I hope you do not either.
I don't.
I'm glad, because I know more than both of you, and even I don't presume to know everything.
All right. I'll whistle for Pawson, and then when he shows up, I'll just tell him to help Florin, patrol the town, give him, some sort of signal if there seems to be anything coming in that they should be aware of.
The boy has imprinted himself upon me, it's true. But you'll always be my master.
Yes, and I do intend to return, hopefully in no short order.
Be well, master. And if you do fall, remember I will eat you and take you back to the mountain.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I say this, and then I take out the scroll and I scratch out. I think it's bird ink.
That's it.
That's
you got
the
it.
owlwood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where the
Are you
owls
saying
are, the
these
birds.
Birds have formed a corporation of sorts
No, they ink like
for
what
their
you
mutual interest.
ink like you would scribe with.
Okay.
Yes.
Or like an octopus or a squid might create while under the water. Yeah.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. EI, praise EI. All right, so you have come to start. You started to like project these things onto walls of buildings, right? That's become like your normal approach to this. It opens up. It's just complete darkness through this gate that you're looking through.
Like the dark of a forest thicket, or like darkness like the spell?
Oh wait, what's your situation for dark vision?
Superior dark vision, 120 feet.
Yeah, and I got
and
devil
yours-
sight. Fuck off.
You have devil sight? You do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
He's like, never mind, it's not dark. I'm not even gonna bother.
you can't see anything in there. It is a dark room that looks like it's completely made of stone.
Got it.
And there's like you all can hear. There's just like it's nothing. It's nothing. You hear, because sound does travel through the teleportation circle. Like you hear the sound of your town here reflecting off of the stone walls back into like through the teleportation circle. So it creates a little bit like an echo as you are standing there.
We should move quickly. The sound will betray our arrival.
Is there a way out of this room?
I'll walk through.
Okay.
There's a room?
Yes, it is not lit, which is why you cannot see.
Yeah. The teleportation circle is lit, but it's lit with black light. So it's sort of it's like
Heavy, man.
It's thank you. Thanks so much. So
Ultraviolet.
it's actually putting out darkness. The teleportation circle, the runes on it are putting out darkness. And you sort of look around. It's about a 15 by 15 foot room, and there's a hallway that goes. So there's barely enough room for the teleportation circle on the floor, and then there's a hallway leading to the north, straight north, and it's the hall is about 4 feet wide and about 5 feet high.
Right. Oh, there is an exit. Come through
No.
quickly.
No, half-elf demon lover, show me up. Go through the teleportation circle.
Felipe does too, and Felipe can't see goddamn thing. It's like, I could fight a man who is here. I just have to hear them. Filnir.
Yes. Just quiet. Let Ionis through and let him close the circle.
Okay.
All right, I come through and I close it.
All right. You can't see anything, Ionis.
Can I pull out a torch?
I see no one here.
All right.
So 120 feet down the hallway. It's just
You
empty
see
hallway.
another room. You see another room at the end of the hallway. It opens up into.
Are we to believe Felipe Madamba has no idea where this teleportation circle is? I thought you knew every square inch of this owl wood.
I've never seen this before. I don't understand.
We are made in. It's a room of stone. We may very well be underneath the owlwood.
Oh my god! I have no idea.
Let me move ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Schnobik, if you can see, perhaps you should take the lead, as you are the quietest of us to move.
This is true.
I know I have to feed his ego.
So you when you first come in, you actually can't see much at all, Schnobik, because it's sort of like the darkness spell. Like you have blind sight to 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
So you can sort of make out, like using sort of echolocation or however it is that you do, you can sort of make things out. But when you move down the hall, when you start to move down the hall, you realize that the teleportation circle itself is creating an area of magical darkness, and you're into like normal pitch black dark in the hallway, and so you can now see as yourself in the sort of black and whites.
It's a stealth roll, 23.
Okay.
This is like, so Schnobik walks, like when he's in darkness, he's basically walking in like a heavy fog. Like when you drive in fog and you can't see, like,
Yes.
So he's got to go slow.
He has to go slow when he's in super hardcore darkness.
Right.
But that's gone now.
So he is in the hallway. It's just
Well, I
normal
closed
pitch black
the,
dark.
I
But we
closed
closed
the circle.
the circle. So that was the impetus, was to
Yeah,
get rid of that magical darkness.
So it's still radiating darkness from the
Because the
from the
rooms
circle.
or a light
They're
or awake. whatever.
they're a dark.
Dark.
They're a dark. Yeah.
I will be right behind you, Schnobik. As I can see 120 feet out. But
So you gonna head down the hall?
I feel like that's a dare.
That's pretty good. And I'm assuming you're also searching. Tell me how you're searching. Tell me what you're looking for as you're moving down this hallway.
I am really just looking for doors, windows, openings, any sort of break in the wall or floor.
Okay, give me
Or
a
ceiling.
Give me a ceiling too. Okay, perception check. How tall are you? Also, you're 6 foot, right?
Yeah.
So you are having to really stoop as you go through this thing, and there's no way even a like gnome could pass you in this hallway.
Good. I
Yeah.
hate gnomes. My passive is 16.
Okay. All right.
That's a 13.
Okay. So you can make it to the end of the hallway. The room opens up into another area, and this area is about 100 feet by 100 feet total square. Really, a clean cut, human built. It seems like it's human. It could be elven, but it's definitely
Humanoid built.
certainly not dwarven. It's definitely not dwarven. Like there's enough.
The stonework is shoddy enough.
Well, it's just not characteristically dwarven, right? So you in this room there are a lot of skeletons on the ground, and there are also large numbers of empty suits of armor that look like they had been
Occupied at one point.
And there's not skeletons in them, but they are still in the position that they may have been laying down.
So
not organized piles like an armory, more like
like people died.
is
in
there
this
one
room.
close enough to the entrance that I can inspect it more closely?
Yes. Yeah.
So I want to look at one of these empty suits of armor and see, is there blood? You know, do I think whatever was in this was, banished or vanished or disintegrated, or was it slashed or blood? What can I determine about the manner of death from inspecting the armor? Is the armor damaged in any way?
All right. So give me a perception check on the or investigation. I guess investigation is more appropriate here for this. So give me an investigation check on the armor, and give me another one for sort of on the inside. There's two separate details here.
On the armor, 5.
Okay.
On the inside, 20.
Okay. So you don't notice anything particular about the make of the armor. It has not been slashed up. It has not been beaten up. It looks like it was fairly clean when it arrived here, and it just looks like it's never been in a fight. The inside of the armor is clean, and there's no body, there's no bones in there at all. There's nothing in there. There's a sword that's laying down at the side of this armor that looks like it was maybe being held like on someone's chest, but then it had slipped off, right? So there's no sign of trauma at all.
Okay.
And I'll see what he's doing. Is there any symbols on the armor?
Give me a roll. You have advantage for this one. I think this is going to be a history check for you.
A history check.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
That's okay.
some foul magic here. It's killed these
23.
Ooh.
Every single one of these armors have the mark of Neverwinter on them, and then the skeletons have clearly leathers that have disintegrated.
Okay.
Well, I think it's pretty clear what happened here. These fellows here had clothes and these did not, and they decided to swap.
It's not quite the conclusion I came to. Felipe, can you make your way to us?
Yes.
Come, just run your hand along the wall. It is straight.
Is it safe to light a candle or a torch?
I'll look around. I don't see anybody else in here.
And there's no way out of this room that you can see. This is like a corridor, a room to a corridor that leads to another room.
Perhaps it is a puzzle. What if we take the skeletons and put them inside the suits of armor?
Let us light a torch so that they can see what we're discussing.
Very well.
I lit one by the teleportation
Oh, you
circle,
did. So you're.
but am I still in magical darkness?
You were. So it
Torches don't work here.
Yeah.
No,
They don't work.
Ionis, come toward the sound of my voice. Just bring the torch.
Yeah, and the torch continues to burn and lights up the hallway. And Ionis, give me a perception check.
The portal is shrouded.
Perception. This is my jam here, perception. It's a 2.
Not the most observant. Hyannis.
As you're walking with your torch up, you see several drawings of animals that are on the Gilbrain.
Even with the two. Just
Even with the two.
just little animals.
There's nothing interesting except that someone took the time to draw these animals in the hallway.
Oh, look. Just little drawings on the wall.
Felipe, has there ever been any history of Neverwinter in the Owlwood that you are aware of?
The only thing that I know of is that occasionally we've been invaded by Feyrunis. I don't know anything about Neverwinter or where that is even, but I'm assuming that these may be Feyrunis.
It is in Farron. All of these bodies and armor bear the symbol of Neverwinter.
Is there any way to tell how old they are?
Do we see any rust?
No.
It's probably dry in there.
Super dry. And in fact, who's the tallest?
Not me.
It's probably Schnobik.
Schnobik. Do you have to breathe, Schnobik?
Do I have to breathe?
As a vampire, like, does it matter like what the oxygen situation is like someplace?
I would say not usually, right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't know about 5e,
But
via
like
the
you don't have
PHB.
water breathing and things like that. So I'm going to say that you require much less oxygen to like
Okay.
because you don't have blood that like is like other people. But you even feel that like there's not a lot of air to breathe here.
Okay.
And I don't understand. And Felipe had walked down the hallway with you. He says, yeah, all of these things are here. All of these things are famous for the Owlwood, except frogs. We don't have frogs here. There's no frogs. Frogs are only in the Gilbrain Wilds. There's no frogs anywhere on this whole island. Except the Gilbrain Wilds, and they have lots of frogs there, and giant ones that will eat you.
So what do we make of this imagery then? Perhaps it is a symbol. There does not seem to be an obvious way out of here aside from returning through the portal.
Felipe looks around. He says,
This is all of Tom's prep work, by the way. Is getting us to the Owlwood into a small room and
yeah.
then sending us
and
back.
a TPK. Now he says, no, look at this over here. There are 4 places to stand, and one of them is a frog. Maybe, frog. And Felipe goes and walks on the frog.
Wait, now this is 4 places. This is in the large room? Or
In the
this is
large room.
hall?
In the
Okay.
large room. And he goes and stands on the frog, and a light comes on somewhere near the north face wall, and it projects an image of lettering onto the wall. Who speaks Sylvan?
I don't know if anybody speaks
not
Sylvan
I.
because it is a...
It's very similar to Elvish.
I have Elvish, but
Okay.
I don't have...
I'm Elvish as well.
All right, cut this. It projects a bunch of letters, and it's in Elvish. I thought somebody spoke Sylvan here, and I was going to let you have your moment.
No. No, Schnobik's an underground dude.
Yeah. Okay. So it's in Elvish. There are some archaic terms in it, clearly, but it is a letter, and it reads as follows: "Welcome to the inside of Gilbrain, jumpers. Remember your training, and use the contrails. From the frog, it will seem 307 feet straight up to the Woods Inn antechamber. Stay safe. Never jump in front of locals. Eat nothing. Drink nothing. Return to the center of Gilbrain before jumping home. Warden Wrigley Holcroft."
Well, that sounded like a lot of letters.
Oh, sorry. It is a letter written, not one
Like a
single
note.
letter. It's a
Like a
note.
note.
It's like a letter that like one might get through the post.
And the note is
A flat.
Yes, that's right.
for words we can also misconstrue.
That's right.
What does it say?
Apparently, we jump from the frog. It seems to be a military note left for invading Faeruni, as Felipe suggested. Tells them to eat nothing, drink nothing, use the contrails, as they call them, the teleportation circle network that we figured out, and we are 307 feet underground. Felipe,
Yes,
will you assist with an experiment?
of course, but I do know what the Woods End antechamber is.
What is that?
It's in the palace. It's not far from the throne room, and in the communal area we used to use the antechamber to store food. It's very dry.
Will it be guarded?
No, I mean, from what I understand, the palace is ruins.
Well, if you're ready for that experiment, jump.
Filnir, before we experiment, allow me. And I'm going to touch it, and I'm going to cast Identify on it.
On what?
Can I cast it on the circle that looks like it's a jumper?
The frog?
The frog.
There you said there are 4 places to stand, right?
Yes, there are 4 places to stand.
And okay, I'll cast it on the frog first. I want to see if because this stuff is old, I want to make sure it hasn't been tampered with. I want to know exactly what magic is being used.
Okay. So you're casting Identify.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you get from Identify. You get like magic school and some history stuff, right?
Choose an object.
Yeah, I learn the magic, whether it requires attunement. I learn the spells that are affecting it and what they are.
I'm also going to give you some lore on this because I think Identify needs to be a little bit more souped up than this. There's nothing magical about this frog. There's
nothing magical.
In fact, it is oddly devoid of magic. In the Gilbrain, so many things touch the weave. This room, except for the light, which is projecting words on the wall, like you even if you cast Detect Magic, you feel like you maybe the magic circle behind you, but this room is devoid of lasting magical effects. And the frog, as you sort of like inspect it and touch it, the ink that it was drawn in is so acidic that it has actually cut into the stone. And you realize now, even though it's dark, the ink, it was clearly drawn with ink. And all of these drawings were drawn in ink, but they are also acidic ink. And there's, very little left of the original color that this thing was drawn in. And as you get closer to the frog, you realize it was probably once painted a color, but now the different colored inks seem to have cut into the stone in different kinds of ways that cause a different texture. And so that's
like
even
etching.
Yes, yeah. It's like these were etched into the surface here, and it seems to be just a location.
Just a location, and then the light that is shining, that is just
it's weird because you can put your hand in front of it. And it's coming from a source about 3 feet off of the wall in the middle of the air. There's no object there at all. It just light is projecting from a point onto the wall, and you can move your hand, and the shadow of your hand appears on the wall where the lettering would be. But it's
as if from a projector, but there's no projector.
But there's no projector. No projector.
I'm going to inspect the other 3 spots on the floor. I'm not going to stand on them.
Okay.
But what do I see on the other sort of matching 3 spots?
Also etched, one is an eagle, one is a bear, and one is a horse. And they're also etched. The ink seems to be similar. The horse, give me a perception check. Sorry, let me get a perception or an investigation for that, whichever one you want.
I'll take perception.
Okay.
That's a 12.
That's okay. You're not terrible at this.
No.
The horse head looks like if you put enough pressure on it, it would move.
Mm-hmm.
Like down an eighth of an inch. It's not much. There's a gap.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gap that looked like it was just an etched like part of the horse, but it's
We appear to have entered some kind of Gilbrainy training exercise. I imagine the rest of these are further instructions?
Perhaps. Or perhaps traps.
Well, one way to find out. I wouldn't have done this if Filnir hadn't said anything, but then I step on the horse head.
Okay. So
Challenge him.
another light pops up on the wall next to the horse's head, and this one says, "If you jump straight up from here, you will be in a stone wall and will die."
Very well, let us see the other two.
Filnir would step on the eagle.
Another light appears and says, "You will not be protected. You will be in the center of the castle courtyard."
And then I will stand on the other one, the last one.
So this is the bear.
Okay.
And when the bear comes on, a light projection says 497 feet. Exactly in this direction. And it's an arrow that is in 3-dimensional, and it's pointing like up and like to the south a little bit at about a 5% grade. And it says 497 feet will put you at the top of the Wood's End lookout tower. Beware, often guarded.
Oh no, this is a way to drain me of my 4th level spells.
So these seem to be instructions to Gilbrainy elves capable of moving, teleporting in directions.
Indeed.
Into the Owlwood to raid?
Felipe would know the history of raids.
Or merely as the way children will see how close they can get to a bear before running away.
Perhaps that you said it was a training exercise.
This appears to be. These instructions seem to indicate. Perhaps this is the element of danger to focus the mind.
Felipe says, but where else have you found these teleportation circles?
Like the ones we're standing on now.
Well, no, like the one we came in on.
There are many.
Are they this remote?
Often, yes. And hidden.
Maybe that's the idea. Maybe this is here to protect itself from being used by others.
Well, whoever created this here would have had to have a way to get down here first. So perhaps these are bidirectional, if these are in fact means to get up the 307 feet or...
No, I believe these appear to be directed at people who would have the ability to move it without any additional help. This room is dead. And now as far as the bodies and the disappeared armors, hard to say. But from...
I have a theory.
Oh.
One who could...
Does your half-elven blood speak to you?
One who could move them 497 feet must have not made the jump back down with the soldiers that were there waiting. And
they got stuck.
And they must have died and been unable to use the teleportation circle or escape this room. How awful.
Perhaps there are more skeletons at one of these locations.
Ionis, can you move us through space?
I can, one at a time.
Perhaps first we should create a mental link.
Is there a method of transport that would leave your armor behind?
Maybe they took it off, just realizing there was no point in wearing it. If you were waiting to die...
These instructions seem to be... yes.
Well, we appear to be stuck here.
So we are assuming that the skeletons and the armor are actually from the same people who were down here for a very long time and thus had no need to wear it.
There's no mark of battle or anything of the sort. They seem to have simply laid down and died.
Does make sense. The air is thin.
Are there the same number of skeletons as there are suits of armor?
No. The leathered skeletons, 20, and the metal Neverwinter's maybe 10 of them.
Well, whatever happened here, it's no relevance to us. We need to get out.
Indeed.
Well, I can get us all out. But then I would need a long rest. Before I entertain that, I will identify one of the suits of armor just in case.
And you don't have to roll for this at all, right? So here's what's interesting about it. It's not magical.
Okay.
It's not protected by anything. It's full plate. And there is certainly ladybone that is sort of inlaid in the Neverwinter symbol. That's very weird in armor.
Okay.
And if there was no body in this and someone had just doffed it, it would not be laying in holding the shape of a body the way it is. Like it clearly had something in it for a very long time, or long enough to hold the shape of a body.
And now it's just armor.
And now it's just armor, no body.
And no ash.
No ash, no nothing. Empty. And no animating spirit. Like you've never felt safer around a skeleton in your life. Like this stuff is not getting up.
And did anybody like put their hand into the armor?
No, you be the first.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have picked up on whatever weird thing would have happened.
With what?
I did the
He's using
identify spell.
But that's on an object.
On the armor.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it on the armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So there's nobody invisible
Right.
within it,
Right.
laying there waiting to spook us.
No. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Who?
We're running
Everybody.
out of air.
Oh,
Everybody.
shit.
Yeah.
We've got to move.
Like our list of allies, the air grows thin.
Oh, shit. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Son of a bitch.
An advantage for Schnobik.
24.
Okay. So you two medium tall people, you're feeling like you're not going to be able to stay here much longer.
Right.
Like,
Getting a little woozy.
a little bit woozy. You're not getting exhaustion, but like it feels like you're breathing in dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ancient air.
Ancient air. Yeah.
I fear. I've wasted our time. I'm sorry.
All right.
We've got to get out of here. I cannot provide the link.
We can do that on the surface.
All right. Schnobik.
If you take the half elf, he grows peaked. Make sure you can return for us.
All right. I can, and I will. Felipe, you seem all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, Filnir, let us go.
Where are we going?
We're going to, what do you think? The throne room or 497 feet straight up in the tower?
Go to the
I think the antechamber.
go to the antechamber. I know that there's a chance that is still existing. The tower would be destroyed. If it's ruins, the tower would be destroyed. That would be the first to go.
All right. Let us to the antechamber then.
All right.
Probably the most defensible.
Dimension door, antechamber.
Okay. And you two appear in a room that is it's about 10 feet tall, and it is very well preserved, although there's grass and things growing throughout it. And there is a doorway that has a blue spectral light, and you can see straight out of it. And you see like 500 feet away, you see a forest, and you see men in full armor sort of patrolling the edge of the forest out that way. But the room itself, it's clean. There's a bed here, and you see 2 panels on the wall that look an awful lot like the panels that were used to control the light wells in the mine.
Okay.
Okay. So the walls, there's openings, but so we're not like obscured from anything. We can see out of cracks, or is it like a big open? I'm sorry.
So it is a box that you are in.
Right.
There is grass and weeds and things growing inside of it.
Right. And I got that. It's just more with like.
There's a door that looks like it leads outside. There is a spectral blue kind of wall that is there.
Okay.
And
I can see through that.
You can see through it.
Got it.
You can see
Okay.
through it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm not. So I'm hidden from basically 4 sides except for whatever this door.
Presumably,
if they can see through.
If they can see through, presumably, yes,
Right, okay.
that's correct.
Well, I will cover from the door so it does not appear that I am there from that direction.
Okay.
All right. I'm going down to get the
And
rest.
you're standing on a frog, on not
Like
an
in the
actual
floor.
frog, but you're standing on
the
another.
image of a frog.
Yeah, the image of a frog. Yeah.
Okay. I will go down and get the rest. And
I will
hold up
stay to this side.
I put my hand on your shoulder, and Saber crawls from my shoulder to your shoulder,
Okay.
and then I dimension door back down.
and you arrive back there. I mean, seconds later, Schnobik, Ionis reappears without Filner.
This one is very small. Can you not take both of us?
I'm sorry. I'm working on it, but currently I cannot.
Why am I not surprised? Very well.
All right, Felipe, you're next. Dimension door, Felipe, up next to Filner.
This is the antechamber.
There are men
sorry,
patrolling the forest.
This is my home. This is my home. Wait. There was a hallway there that led to the throne room. Where?
It has been 300 years.
I guess so. Where's the walls? That's the Owlwood we're looking at. Oh my God. This is very reminiscent of something. I feel like I've been in a room like this before that was also not here. It was out east.
But you recognize this forest as the Owlwood.
Those trees are Owlwood. They're Owlwood oaks for sure.
Schnobik's sitting down there by himself. I should have reminded him not to get distracted.
I mean, it's been all of 20 seconds.
Like 20 seconds or whatever.
Oh, but Ionis is happy to let him.
Yeah,
know.
that's
right.
He returned after depositing the half-elf very quickly. Now he's
that
letting
man
us
who's
do.
walking there, do you see him? He's very far away.
I'm sure he's doing this on purpose.
My gnome eyes make out that's not Owlwood armor.
Well, I do not think the
Or
Owlwood
it
is.
wasn't Owlwood armor.
It is the Monterans, or Prince Adai's wife, who presumably controls the Owlwood at this point.
Indeed.
Maybe.
If I'm going to go get my brother now.
Wait before you do. Should we not?
You want to leave him down there?
I don't know.
I understand your trepidation, but he is my family.
He is a vampire.
Yes, and that has its uses.
And he could have eaten any one of us at any time.
Please.
That's the most Filnir thing Filnir has ever said. He's a vampire. Well, that has its uses.
Just please don't tell him I brought this up.
So just be on your best behavior, and I won't.
Okay.
I dimension door back down.
How's your
I'm just amazed that you could do this enough times.
Spells?
Yeah.
Well, now I'm in 5th level.
Now he's in 5th level territory. 'cause
Gotta
he had to
burn
go
it. Yeah, you got to burn
1,
higher ones.
Oh,
Two,
well done, Tom.
3,
Well done.
4, 5.
Well done. Yeah.
I thought Filnir had Dimension Door. That's why I was asking about his
6th
character
level spells,
sheet.
5th level spells, 4th level spells, gone.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's great.
No, but you succeeded. You have succeeded. I'm giving you inspiration.
Oh,
Inspiration on your thing. Yeah, this is very, very
Worth it.
good. Yeah,
you.
very, very good. Okay. So so Ionis appears. It just took him a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother, you ready?
Just breathe hard when you get there. So this is very taxing.
This is a lot.
If you're always ready, you don't have to get ready.
I just grab him and jerk him into the dimension. And we're at the top.
And I'm spent.
Yeah. Felipe is still like, he's kind of freaking out. And he says, these panels weren't here. This is not my family's doing.
It has been 300 years.
I understand that. You know how when you're in one place and you know things will change. You know things that can never be the same, but there are things that you feel as though would last. Woods End Palace seemed like one of those things for me. The landscape seemed like one of those things for me. The mountains seemed like one of those things for me, and everything is different. Nothing is the same. Even these trees are... They're different.
Ionis, while we discuss strategy here, perhaps Saber should look around.
I think that would be prudent. I sent him... should I send him through the wall? Can he go through the wall?
Well, it's walls and there's a door with a spectral wall. We have to find out if he can...
He's going to go up and touch the blue wall.
His hand can pass right through it. His little furry foot can pass right through it.
No pain, no nothing, huh?
No pain, no nothing.
And then there's a door inside the building that's kind of cracked.
No, it's basically one way out, and it's this blue thing. Everything else is just stone walls. There's a bricked up area that looks like it was bricked up at one point to fortify it.
Okay. I'm going to send him through the wall, and he's just going to kind of set up a perimeter, see what's around.
Yeah. As soon as he walks through the wall, like you don't see him on the outside of the thing. So he's not right outside of the... He's not right outside where he was walking into.
I'm going to put my senses into him.
All right. He is in the middle of a field, and he's looking around, and he doesn't see any buildings, but he does see ruined walls, and he sees about 500 feet to the east. He sees the Breen River, and he sees troops amassed in the edge of the forest there. And he turns his little face around, and he looks the other way, and he sees another wooded outcropping, and there are troops there as well. That's another 500 to 600 feet away as well. So we're talking about 1,000 to 1,100 feet separating these two differently dressed martial folks. Probably out of arrow fire range.
Quarter mile.
Yeah.
And they look like the soldiers that we saw imaged in the blue spectral wall.
Yes. In fact, the ones that he's looking at to the east are dressed as the ones that you looked out of the blue spectral wall.
Okay. I just explained that to everyone. This seems to have teleported him somewhere else. But I do see the insignias on the armor of the people that we saw on this wall.
Why are we here again?
We're finding our Aunt Goliath.
Ah, yes.
And we're going to find out what's happening with her and her plots against Adair. And we're going to try to solidify Felipe as a power here.
Yes, very good.
Felipe has pushed a small the bed over underneath one of these panels so he can stand up and reach it, and he starts fumbling with it, and it flops down, and he says, Ionis, didn't you use these? This looks similar.
What is it?
It's those panels that control the light wells. It's
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah. It's gross in here, but I feel something.
I am familiar with these panels as well.
You are.
Certainly more familiar than either of these guys, right?
Yes, for
Because
sure.
this is a common tool.
Yeah.
with
For sure.
Bezalith.
For sure.
I would say my guess is that one of these panels controls the viewing wall here and can adjust where you are seeing. The other one, can I investigate it?
Yep.
I get advantage.
Yeah, sure.
15.
Okay. The one that Felipe is looking at. So the ones that Bezalith uses, they have kind of a globe inside of them that you would put your hand on to control and move them around, and they feel like they're sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? They feel like they're floating, like a floating like round stone, basically. There's one of those, and as you move it, you can change the eye of the teleportation circle, and it's kind of off-putting. The movement of it is kind of off-putting. It feels like you are actually turning, like the whole place feels like it's turning, even though if you close your eyes, you can tell you're not turning. But if you're looking out of the thing, and Schnobik, of course, does a dick move where he moves it a little fast every once in a while, back and forth.
Jiggle.
And the thing is just like, you all get kind of dizzy as he does that. The
Do
other
a little
one,
wiki.
the other one is not a stone ball. It is fur that is alive. And
Gross.
and as you like touch it and pet it, you feel points of bone. And there are 5 points of bone. And you could put your fingers on each one of those 5 points of the bone.
I do it.
Okay. You are now, like, your perspective is that of about a few inches off the ground, and you have the sensation of running in the field. And, you can press on these things to, like, and with the light well, you press on it, it makes the light come out of it, so it becomes kind of like a weapon. When it's in the Underdark. When you press on this, you shift perspective, and you're now up in a tree, and you are looking down, and you take off, and it's like you're flying over this field, and you press it again, and now you're underwater, and you're looking up, and you see the light dappling on the surface of the river, and you press it again, and now you're in a whole other perspective, again in the grass, looking up, and you see these troops
All right.
amassing.
I let go. I'm not sure what the confusion is. These are elementary devices. This one here gives us the ability to shift the perspective of this viewing window. The other one allows us to take control of various woodland creatures in the region. It seems we've been given 2 tools to gather what intelligence we need, and no need to go out and interact with any of these people. We can merely find out what we need to know and then head home. Please be my guest.
I'm going to go up to the light ball and slowly move it until I find Saber.
Okay, so I'll say you can see him. He's about 50 feet away. The grass is kind of high here, but you can kind of make a, if you can tell him to move through your mind, like you can kind of see, and then that causes him to like look around. And I'm assuming you're going to tell him to like look, like start looking where it is.
Yeah.
If you now look through, you see that you're in a small knoll of grass that is in the middle of this field. It's completely grown over. It's just a hill. It's just a small hill. No way in, no way out. It doesn't appear to be anything there. It's just like, and there's there's even a man standing on top of this hill.
Okay. And this man didn't see a mongoose suddenly appear?
No, he's about 50 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We appear to be in some kind of mound right in the middle of this field. We're underground still.
And you see some like outcroppings of like stone shapes, could be walls from a long time ago, like around here.
So what do we see out the door?
Well, so now you're looking at Saber,
Right.
and you're looking almost due north, and it's more valley between the forest and the River Breen.
Sorry, in the room that we're in.
Oh.
I thought we had a wall and then there was the door. Right?
So there's 3 walls.
Mm-hmm.
On the 4th wall, there is a door that leads out that has the blue spectral.
Yeah, this is
sorry, the door is
okay.
the door.
I thought
is
there was
the
a
circle.
spectral wall and a
No,
door.
no, sorry, no,
Okay,
no. There's no way out except for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, if we are to do what we came to do, I believe we have to go through the wall.
Just announce our presence and hope we can be diplomatic.
Well, you have your choice of where you want to come out. But what is it that you want to know that you would get through conversation with any of these people that we can't find out by merely spying on them?
Well, Felipe, what is it that you want us to do here?
I want us to go. I want to get my people back. He's like, those people, there are gnomes and there are elves and they're clearly people of the Owlwood. They seem to be dressed in this strange, not Monterre armor. And it's not a Darren either.
If we just bring you out.
What are the men over there? And
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to take control of the mouse here.
yeah. Yeah.
I go, let's go over this way, and I start scrolling it real fast. Let's find the center of the camp of these Owlwood folk and see who is here. Who is here?
Yeah.
I'm going through the camp really fast.
Yeah. So you keep scanning through. You actually can like change perspective and like move into the forest. So it's not just like a light tower that's turning around. You actually can move the ball to head
Satellite.
yes into these areas.
Oh, well, I would have figured that out eventually.
Let's see who leads this rabble.
So if you go toward the Owlwood, eventually you make your way to a camp, and the camp is it's full of it is a mix, but the humans do seem to be in charge. There is a central camp, central tent.
Yes, let's go in there. Scroll.
And you cannot go inside of the thing. It's like whenever you hit things that are obscured, it sort of moves up over the thing. So you can't move through the trees. It's just.
So I get a good look around at the camp,
Yeah.
so I can recognize it, and then I go, okay, now I must find a woodland creature to infiltrate this tent. Click it.
Ionis, do you
I'm
recognize?
just scrolling through the creatures. Which one is closest? I'll just run it over there. Click it.
Okay, as he's doing that, what's up, Phil? There.
Ionis, do you recognize your aunt here?
I'm assuming she's in the tent. Have I seen her yet?
You have not seen her yet. No.
I do not see her. I mean, Schnumpik is moving awfully fast. I'm trying to look at people, and I cannot tell who in the world is out here.
Did you look at the other side, at the other front?
No, not
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Well, and now Schnobik has abandoned that one.
Fish, another fish.
Shinobi, your attempts at being helpful are in
Bird.
fact making
I
this
need
take
I need
longer.
another bird. That's a worm. It's too low, too slow.
So he's doing that, and I'm going to start
Wait,
moving.
that was a bird. How do I go backwards? Too late. I'll have to go round the horn.
I'm going to slowly back up and do the camp around that big tent and slowly see if I recognize anybody.
You don't recognize anybody, but you see you actually do see two men sitting at a table, and they are writing letters. Both of them. They are clearly not military, and you can sort of get it up over their shoulder. Everything is written backwards for some reason in your purview, but you're able to sort of make out that both of them are writing letters that begin with Lady Goliath Adair and her ladies' men request your aid in our move against Braintown. You will be rewarded in gold, prestige, and position.
Okay.
And they're writing to like real people, like real people of the Breen, basically individually, like nobles. You don't recognize the names, but
what are the names?
Well, Travis, Holland are the two people that they're writing to right now. And then and there's a stack.
Do they go by any other names?
Fuck you. They do, but I mean, not that you know of. And there's just like a huge stack of scrolls that they're writing and sealing with the ladies' men seals.
All right. I don't know if you're familiar. I believe maybe this is the place.
They are prescribing letters to Breen. I can see all the stuff. Too,
yeah,
right?
you can see it. Yeah,
Was that
It's like a big screen TV.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
yeah. Was that not your aunt's name?
Yes.
Goliath Adair. That would make these her men.
These are her men, and I believe maybe this is the larger of the tents that we saw. Perhaps this is where she is.
Do we know how to get there?
I think we just walk through.
Have I found a suitable woodland creature yet?
Are we not going to arouse suspicion just simply appearing out of thin air? We will be surrounded at once, but...
You finally find a snake. Yeah.
All right.
Perhaps-
slither into that central tent and have a look around.
Yes. I don't know what he looks like, but there's a man there that is half dressed,
Yeah.
wearing a loincloth.
Snakes see in like infrared heat vision anyway. right?
Anyway. Well, I mean,
It's like, oh, look, he's warm-faced.
when I say I don't know what he looks like, it's because I don't know which of the Grim Portnoys he is. And he is just chillaxing on a fur and straw bed, and there is a woman there as well who is leaning back and reading, and she is wearing studded leather armor and has a long purple cape on. And I know it's infrared and it's a snake, but Schnobik is using his senses. He's using his senses to see through it. Yeah.
Well, she's here. We could. You seem to think that causing distress in the people that we are approaching is a bad thing. I've always found it to be incredibly helpful.
I simply do not want to arrive in the middle of an army. It would not give us a means to escape should we find them hostile. The intent is not to bring hostility, of course, so perhaps there's a place we can approach from.
But perhaps to surprise and intimidate, certainly. Yes?
As they're talking, I'm slowly backing out of the encampment.
Wait, yeah. So let's look. We should look at the other army.
I'm gonna back out of the
Oh,
encampment.
thank you, brother, for doing what I wanted so quickly.
God damn it! I need to learn the silent spell.
I'm glad to know we are learning how best to relate to each other.
I want to see if there's an area near the encampment that wouldn't cause suspicion if we just all of a sudden appeared there, and then we could walk, close enough to where it's not a long walk, but far enough away to where people don't go.
Yeah.
Wait, don't we want to know why this army is here and who they may be fighting?
That's why I want to ask our aunt. We're going to go to the source.
And I take the ball, roll it over here, roll it. Scroll.
Haste makes waste. Schnobik, you are wasting time with your haste.
All humans on this other front. They are mounted in largely they're mounted in high tree roosts, and they have a huge number of arrows for like in their roosts. And you see that they have little buckets that have rope on them to be resupplied or like fed. These guys look like they are sleeping up in these roosts. These are clearly Breenies. Like this is the Breenie way, and you don't recognize. It's like just cobbled together armors. There's no one has like insignia or anything like that on any of them. It's just like
it appears that
there's there's Hark colors, there's Adaran colors. These are Breenies.
the Lady Goliath appears poised to take Breentown. Breentown appears to be resisting.
Oh,
Let me find a bird. I can get a closer look. Click it, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna cast Rary's telepathic bond on everybody, and
Including me.
including you this time.
Wait! Before you cast that, shouldn't you bring your mongoose back?
I mean, I could do it at any time. Well, okay, yes, I should probably put one on him as well.
And also, you are assuming that we will teleport wherever we are looking, but we were looking here, and the mongoose appeared there.
yes. I do not think this works as a doorway.
Well, damn it, what are we going to do then?
We will have to make our way there. Can you send Sipper Honey
Sipper Suckle Honeydew.
Suckledew?
Sipper Suckle Honeydew. Am I the only one who listens in this whole group?
I will not tolerate such disrespect.
I apologize. I do not mean to offend
As
the
a fey
Fae.
creature.
Would you be able to send your snake out the door and see if he appears where Saber did, with the viewing window in a different spot?
Well,
perhaps?
but before I do not send, I ask politely.
Well,
as
as-
some in this group could stand to learn, casting spells invading my mind without discussing it with me first. You haven't cast it yet, right?
I'm like in the middle of it. I'm talking.
How about, brother, may I please form a telepathic bond with you?
Brother, it's life or death. Would you like a telepathic bond or not?
Very well. And I send Sipper Suckle through the door.
And it's right now, it's like out in the Breen thing. Sipper Suckle. Okay, you don't see Sipper Suckle.
Yes, it appears a fixed place they come out regardless of where we are looking. Go back to where the furry creature originally came out. Scroll.
Yeah, we should plan the route so we know who we will run into first. We will probably have to.
There's a man on this mound. What does the man look like?
So you have to look through your.
I described the man
Yeah.
when I saw it through Saber before.
I wasn't listening. You say so many things, it is hard to know which are worth paying attention to.
So when you scroll back over to where Sipper Suckle, Honeydew, and Saber are,
Getting along great.
No,
Passing.
Sipper Suckle is like completely it has no care in the world for what Saber's doing. Sipper Suckle is just sort of like snaking around this area looking for like nice warm places to catch the sun, and Saber is like up on his two back feet going and like getting the right position, and Sipper Suckle like really is almost unaware of his existence.
Just murder in Saber's eyes.
Who would be between the lines here? This mound is poised between these two armies. What man would be standing on this?
So he is actually not standing. He's laying down, and he is looks like he's spying across the line, and he is wearing studded leather. It is mismatched. He is likely a Breenie, and he is looking toward the Owlwood.
All right, very well. Let us proceed. You want to speak to our aunt? You want to appear outside and ask for audience? It seems that is our only option, which is very convenient.
But these are the people that she is fighting against.
If they
Well,
are, in
merely
fact, at war.
one.
They may
We
just
can-
be at a standoff.
Perhaps. All right. Okay. We will
Let
leave.
me, it's daytime out there. Or
At
night?
nighttime, yeah.
Okay. Let me show you how this is done, brother. And I step out through the door.
Okay. As you step out through the door and you're still standing up, you are standing right next to where Saber and Super
Oh crap! He let the mouse roll. It's going. We're not seeing what's happening. Hold on. Get it back, Ionis. Get it back.
And from this vantage point, you see that where some of those ruins were, a head pops up from behind one and says, "They're assaulting again! They're assaulting again! Get ready!" And from those that wall that's on the side of the Breen River and on the side of Lady Goliath Adair, you see that they are sending up a very small ballista, and they're sort of roll. It looks like it's on a gear that's rolling it up above the wall, and you see that there's now like 30 of these things behind these 2 to 3 foot high walls that looks like ruins of once a much taller wall, and they're bringing them up. And as soon as these things come up, you see from the other side, you see some archers that like sort of clear the wall. I mean, clear the woods, and they aim so high up, and they begin to send burning arrows toward the ballistas, and they all start to land and miss super far. Like this is a shot that like none of you could make. Maybe Filnir if he really puts his back into it, but even then I think you're
they're coming up short.
They're coming up short, but it's well past Schnobik. So I mean, it looks like they're probably shooting 750 feet, and they're but like these walls are probably only about 700 or 800 feet away from them. So you have woods, you have the river, which is right next to the woods, the Breen River, which is about 20 or 30 feet wide, and then another like 50 feet. You've got the beginnings of these ruins of walls. And they stop being ruins of walls at about 200 feet away from the woods there. And these people are clearing the woods and they're shooting toward these walls, and they're coming up 50 to 100 feet short from where they are.
All this production for one man. And I start walking calmly towards the
forest.
Towards the Adaran line, yeah.
To Goliath's line.
Yeah.
Okay. You start to walk, and you hear from the knoll. Are you Breen Townie?
I turn and I take my hood off briefly and show him my fangs, and I say, "Boo, motherfucker! Get back to your line!"
And he rises up with a bow and he fires an arrow at you, and we'll be in initiative. And that's where we're going to end episode 67 of Everyone Must End Dungeon Dads podcast.
Oh no, we're in battle, and I'm a 6th level character.
I mean,
Gonna have to be crafty.
Yeah,
I will say, I mean, we can save some of this for the bonus, but like, I wouldn't be opposed to you getting a long rest. I just don't know how you're going to get Schnobik back in this hill now that he's walked out.
Yeah.
That's sort of the problem.
Yeah.
We could have rested in there.
And then gone out.
Yeah.
And then gone out. But
Yeah. But
But then nothing would have happened in this episode.
yeah, that's right. Well, I don't agree with that. I think lots happened in this episode. But
Tom's
then again,
happy.
I love
Resource
Proust.
management.
And again, for all our great Proust references, check out Mountain City Mayhem on our
Yeah, but
premium
you guys are forgetting that's going to come out
subscription.
like in a month for even the listeners of this episode.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway,
Crazy.
you'll get it all in a month if you subscribe to our Patreon.
That's right. Check out the Netflix series Too Hot to Handle, and also the Marcel Proust
We don't have sponsors.
book.
We don't have a
Time
sponsorship.
regained.
Netflix is not a sponsor. Why are we plugging?
Why are we even plugging exactly?
All right, toodaloo, everybody.
Toodaloo, everybody.
We should really look into a Proust sponsorship.
I would love it. That would make my life. What's Goliath's sister's name? What's your mom's name?
Sheandolin.
Sheandolin. That's
God, I wonder why I can never remember that.
Sorry. There's the button.
when I named that guy Hank, you guys made no end of shit for me. So like, here are some names of characters that were struck from this campaign: Travis, Steven. We had a thing of Stevens for a while.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we haven't had a Steven.
I haven't had a Steven for a really long time. And it turns out a lot of druids have Midwestern American names. And
It's just a cultural thing.
That's right.
All right, sorry. Can we pause here?
Yeah.
My wife is doing weird things.
Keep it in.
We're gonna keep the whole. Put it on speaker right next to the microphone.